Hello, denizens of the internet. Welcome to my grotto. Today, I'm going to talk about one of the greatest influences in my life, Mad Magazine. The impetus for doing this is that it has been announced that Mad will no longer be publishing. But I have not come here to bury Mad Magazine, but to praise it, because there are lots of things that Mad Magazine did right for a 67-year-old publication. Wait, that's 2 years older than me, and it's dead. Anyway, lessons that all of us can apply to our YouTube channels. I have used what Mad Magazine taught me throughout my professional life, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Mad Magazine is no more, and to be honest, I have been out of touch with the activities of Mad for many years, but let's not worry about that right now. Let's travel back to the late 70s, to the Toronto suburb of Don Mills, and going to Claire's cigar store, and instead of trying to grab a peek at Miss September in that month's Playboy edition while the cashier was otherwise occupied, I would grab a copy of the latest copy of Mad Magazine. You have to understand that that was an act of subversion, an act of rebellion. Parents hated Mad. Mad made fun of the establishment. The establishment had to be protected at all costs, lest it would crumble and anarchy would reign just by looking at the hinged foot characters of Don Martin. Buying a copy of Mad was like striking the Berlin Wall with a cartoon pickaxe. What would happen if we became self-aware, ironic, independent thinkers? Why, Armageddon, of course. Yes, that was Mad Magazine in the 60s and 70s for me. So here are the 8 things that Mad taught me that I've been using all my life, and I use it to this day. Feel free to extract whatever is appropriate for your personal needs. Number 1, be funny, or at least try. Of course, this makes sense for me as this is a comedy tech channel, but I've been involved in comedy, well, since birth, but since high school at least, and I was a professionally employed comedian for a good 20 years, and now I express myself here on YouTube in my grotto. If you are fans of random brain farts, for instance, you will notice that every segment has some kind of punchline. If it doesn't, I don't use that segment. That's discipline. Discipline is what separates a professional from someone just winging it. Number 2, read stuff. I have a wide range of interests, and I've had a wide range of experiences, but it's important to expand your knowledge. Mad taught me about the Cold War. It was because of Mad that I knew about Kennedy and the Bay of Pigs and Khrushchev and Mel Torme. I was a teen, for crying out loud, but Mad made it funny, and so it was interesting. It turned me into a political junkie. Number 3, be fearless. I think the topics you choose to talk about are often more dangerous than the content itself. I remember that at some point, Mad, well, just wasn't fearless enough for me, and I moved on to National Lampoon magazine, which was seriously dangerous and didn't seem to have any taste boundaries. So that's what made it fun. Does anyone remember the cover with the dog on it and the heading, "Buy this magazine or we'll kill this dog"? Something else that got them into trouble was a parody ad for the Volkswagen Beetle with the headline, "If Ted Kennedy drove a Volkswagen, he'd be president today." This referred to the fact that the Beetle floated, but his girlfriend didn't. Search on Chappaquiddick, folks. I'm not spoon-feeding you. Then I moved on to Spy magazine, which was probably my favorite, and was also the end of print humor. I should add that pretty much nothing that Nat Lamp or Spy did could probably be shown on YouTube today. They'd shut you down faster than Ford could sneak out to Mexico. Number 4, make use of all aspects of your delivery mechanism. I'll get back to that later. Number 5, repeatable segments that people look forward to seeing. Mad had their fold-up back page, a brilliant piece of comedy that would transform the page from one gag into another just by folding the panels on themselves. There was Dave Berg's lighter side cartoons, Al Jaffe's snappy answers to stupid questions, Spy versus Spy, Sergio Aragones's margin cartoons, and the usual ad, movie, and TV parodies. The point is, they had an editorial schedule that revolved around regular contributions by their star cartoonists, upcoming movie openings, and holidays. Do you plan your video content schedule around holidays? Christmas? Halloween? Groundhog Day? Summer solstice events? Norwegian Constitution Day? You can cover off a ton of potential topic ideas just by studying a calendar and working your channel premise into them. Number 6, repeatable characters. If you use characters in your posts, make sure you use them regularly. Isn't that right, Wancho? Yeah, he agrees. Number 7, write and rewrite so it's the best you can make it. Many of you shoot extemporaneously, blather on for hours, and then edit it together. It works for many, and a few of you bastards can open your cake hole, talk for 10 minutes without flubbing anything, and you're done. I can't. And I hate you. At the start, I did extemporize. I mean, talk off the top of my head, and it worked to a degree, but the downside was the amount of footage I shot and how long it took me to edit it. It was burning me out. The solution was to write and rewrite and rehearse it out loud. When you speak your words out loud, you always come up with more stuff. A little bit of pre-work is better than a lot of post-work. Number 8, funnier to leave things to the imagination. Swearing is lazy, yes. I'm lazy, but I always feel badly afterwards. Not only is it lazy, but it's more interesting if you can find an alternative turn of phrase. Mad Magazine offended people with its ideas. Here are some examples. I could say, bleep Mark Zuckerberg, or I could say Silicon Valley's worst haircut. I could say, bleep Apple's monitor stand, or I could say, now I can choose a monitor stand or feed 30,000 starving Ugandan orphans. What do you think is funnier? Do you recall my Ford could sneak to Mexico joke that I said earlier? That was really a bleep YouTube alternative. A good line is always hard to find, but it's always worth the effort. Now, I want to get back to item number 4, making use of all aspects of your delivery mechanism. What does that mean? Well, the medium is the message. It means no part of the process is off limits to exploit. Sergio Aragones was famous for his tiny margin cartoons. At one point, margins were there to nicely separate things, but not for Sergio. It was a place to doodle and be funny. This lesson was hammered home years later by Monty Python, whose credits were filled with jokes. Python's joke album covers, like this one. No, that's not this one. No, that's not right either. This one here. No, that's wrong. Here. So this is one of their joke album covers where they make fun of a classical album cover and just scribble it out. This was using the medium, the whole medium, not just the album itself on the inside, but the cover as part of their overall joke experience. This culminated with their matching tie and handkerchief album, where the second side was double grooved. There were 2 10-minute sides on the one side, the second side, essentially the first and only 3-sided LP. It was very hard to consistently play or find the side you wanted on the second side, but an example of not leaving any comic stone unturned. In the case of my YouTube channel, I have many thumbnails that make fun of clickbait and YouTube. I love comment improv. The comments are part of the performance art of my posts. They're not separate from my videos. They are part of the act. Do not think of YouTube as a container. Think of it as your canvas. Soon, I hope to have a video that starts on my channel and finishes on someone else's. Stay tuned for that bit of hilarity. I was told never to telegraph the end of my video.
Hello, denizens of the internet. Sorry, I have to add another 8 seconds to make this video 10 minutes long. 6, 7, 8. Thank you.